When it comes to popular comic book franchises, writers often drop heavy bombs by making iconic characters face each other. Batman vs Superman, Iron Man vs Captain America, Deadpool vs Wolverine. The list can go on for eternity. These are the moments when fans put aside their flair for a good story and just enjoy the intense battles between these characters. In today's video, as the title suggests, we will be talking about one such epic battle from the Marvel Comics. Red Hulk vs Colossus, especially when he attained the power of Cyttorak. Don't worry about confusion, as we will clearly discuss the events that led to Colossus becoming the new Juggernaut before diving into the intense battle. So, without further delay, let's begin. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. How did Colossus become the new Juggernaut? We all know about the mutant abilities of Colossus, but to understand the chain of events that led to him becoming Juggernaut, we need to start from the Fear itself story arc, which began in 2011. The event introduced two new characters, Scotty Cole's daughter and Cole Borson. Scotty located Red Skull's secret base in Antarctica, built in 1942, and retrieved a hammer that, much like Thor's, only a worthy being could wield. Scotty was the chosen one, and she attained her full potential after wielding the hammer. She then freed Cole Borson, the old Norse god serpent, who had once been restrained by a powerful spell cast by Odin. Meanwhile, Odin sensed this and forced Thor and the rest of the Asgardians to leave Earth immediately and travel to Asgard space. It can be inferred that even Odin was afraid of this newly freed god, the Serpent. At the end of the first issue of Fear itself, the Serpent is shown summoning the Worthy, his elite vanguards and agents of destruction. Soon, 8 unidentified objects are spotted by the Avengers heading towards them. One of them struck the East River Raft, the headquarters of Luke Cage's Thunderbolts, where, Kane Marco had recently been recruited. The hammer shattered the walls of the raft and landed before Kane, and as he touched it, he transformed into one of the members of the Worthy called Curve, Breaker of Stone. Curve destroyed the raft, allowing all the dangerous villains imprisoned there to escape. Although the story of Fear itself continues with the 8 superpowered beings wreaking havoc across the globe, we will keep our focus on Curve and the X-Men, as showcased in Uncanny X-Men, issue 542, released August 17, 2011. So, despite the X-Men's best efforts, they struggled to contain Curve, as the sheer power left the team battered and helpless. As the chaos escalated, Mayor Sinclair began considering allowing the military to annihilate Utopia in a last-ditch effort to stop the rampage. In the midst of this internal turmoil, Cyclops realized that the Juggernaut is powered by magical forces far beyond the realm of mutant abilities. No physical strength or mutant power could bring him down, and their only hope was to seek the aid of magic. With urgency, Cyclops gathered Magic, Shadowcat, and Colossus, and ordered them to journey into the dimension of Cyttorak, the dark god who grants the Juggernaut his immense strength, and seek his help. When the team confronted Cyttorak, the deity was not exactly in a good mood. Magic humbly informed Cyttorak that his chosen avatar, Juggernaut, had betrayed him by serving another deity, the Serpent. Fueled by this sense of betrayal, Cyttorak declared that his current avatar must be replaced. Magic, with her deep connection to mystical forces, seemed to be the obvious candidate, but Cyttorak was impressed by Colossus's raw strength and unyielding spirit, and chose him to be the new Juggernaut. And so, this is how Colossus attained the powers of the Juggernaut. Sometime later, Colossus tried to give up the power, but Cyttorak was far too happy having him as his avatar and refused to take it back. The true potential of the Red Hulk. Before we get into the fight between the two big guns, let's go back for pointers and see why Red Hulk is a unique, powerful entity in the Marvel Universe. So, we all know the story where Thaddeus E. Ross, initially a skilled military general with no superhuman powers, transformed into the Red Hulk after collaborating with MODOK, the leader, and Doc Samson to extract the Hulk's energy and DNA through gamma radiation. This transformation gave Ross immense strength, much like the Hulk, but one major difference was the impact of his blows, which allowed him to overpower formidable foes like the Abomination, and even briefly defeat an Odin Force-powered Thor. He might be slightly lower in durability compared to the regular Hulk, but the fact that he had his intelligence activated while in the form makes him dangerous. Unlike Bruce Banner, Ross can consciously control his transformations, remaining in his Red Hulk form at will, even while unconscious. His strength is further amplified by absorbing radiation, and his leaps can propel him through Earth's atmosphere. After his fight with Thor on the moon, he returned back to Earth in just one jump. Additionally, he can emit gamma radiation, which intensifies as he becomes angrier, at times making him appear to be on fire. He can absorb various forms of energy, including cosmic power, which he once stole from the Silver Surfer, though overusing this ability risks trapping him permanently in his Red Hulk form. Despite these overwhelming powers, Ross's Red Hulk persona adds layers of complexity to his character, blurring the lines between his desire for control and his moral duties as a former general. The catastrophic and intense battle between Red Hulk and Jugger Colossus. So, after a long discussion about the background of the two big guns, we are now getting into the fight between them. It was a part of the Avengers vs. X-Men story arc, which began when the Phoenix Force started approaching Earth to make Hope Summers its new host. The event began creating a rift between the Avengers and X-Men. The X-Men had a positive take on the situation, as they believed that the arrival of the Phoenix Force would bring the rebirth of the mutant species, while the Avengers, from their experience of what the Phoenix Force is capable of, believed that it would cause the ultimate destruction of all life on Earth. Soon, the two teams began fighting against each other. As the battle spread across different sections of Utopia, there was an intense one between Colossus in his new form and the Red Hulk. Both teams were in search of Hope Summers, either to protect her or kill her. The story continues in Uncanny X-Men Volume 2, Issue 11, released in April 25, 2012. The issue begins in Utopia's conference room, where everyone is trying to track the Phoenix Force and understand its true purpose. Dr. Nemesis pointed out that he had spotted Hope's latest energy flare, which, unlike before, was unleashed to create a signal. Cyclops believed that in order to facilitate the return of the Phoenix Force, Hope must be saved at all costs. Meanwhile, at the brig, Hope and Unit are in the middle of a discussion about the arriving Phoenix Force and how it's displaying far superior power levels than before. However, their conversation is interrupted by Danger, who states that Cyclops wants to see Hope immediately. Before she left, Unit mentioned to Hope that an important part of all that has been happening and will happen is her choice, and that she should never let herself become a pawn for anyone. Just after Hope left, Unit asked Danger to keep an eye on her. Moments later, the scene shifts to Captain America talking to Cyclops about the crisis. While Captain America wanted to keep Hope in his protective custody, Cyclops differed. The discussion soon transformed into a heated argument, and Cyclops blasted his lasers at Captain America, causing a full-scale fight between the Avengers and X-Men. While Namor fought underwater against the Thing, Colossus took the fight to Red Hulk. While in the fight, it is interesting to read the narrative of Colossus, who states that ever since he attained the powers of the Juggernaut, he maintained a steel form and never returned to his human form. He believed that no man could control his urges of growing evil under the influence of Cyttorak, and the steel form was the only way he kept his mind focused on good. As Colossus faced Red Hulk, he transformed into the Juggernaut, and the two began exchanging catastrophic blows. In his narration, Colossus stated that Red Hulk had no idea of his true power and should not make him angry. However, all of this was not heard or understood by Red Hulk, who kept punching him with all his might. Suddenly, horns and spikes began emerging from Colossus's body. He transformed into a demon, and even Red Hulk seemed worried. His punches created shockwaves so intense that every fish surrounding the area began dying. Although Red Hulk was far outmatched, he laughed as blood began flowing from his mouth and nose. Colossus's blows had begun destroying the very foundation of Utopia, and it was moments away from being destroyed. Colossus immediately snapped out of his rage and realized the fight between them needed to stop, or else Utopia was going to sink. He removed his helmet and allowed Red Hulk to get the best of him. Red Hulk took advantage and went all out against Colossus while he kept screaming in agony. In the end, Red Hulk was victorious in taking down Juggernaut Colossus. Marvelous verdict. So, we have finally come to the end of the video, and we hope you enjoyed our content. If you feel the fight was short, we definitely agree. One of the major differences between Red Hulk and Colossus is that the latter has a high sense of morality and, responsibility. After Cyttorak's power completely consumed him, Colossus seemed to be able to destroy Red Hulk once and for all. However, the fight being underwater seemed to have restricted Red Hulk's capabilities, like, his giant leaps. We hope to see more from Marvel Comics, and needless to say, fans would go crazy if the fight ever happened in live-action films. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and stay tuned for the next Marvelous video. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.